this is like just all types of, you know, exhausting. I'm sitting here, it's, let's see what time it is. Yes, 7:10 in the morning. It's 15 seconds, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right. So, for those of you who probably don't watch, my vlogs, I'm going to try to edit this for, you know, future's sake, or I guess maybe for like, just to like, to probably like have like a cohesive, storyline, or I guess like a cohesive plot to it. So for the past few days, I've been uploading videos about BlackNerdComedy. This is. Let me see if I can put it like someone in the corner right there. He's this guy on YouTube who is a nerd. Self-admittedly, of course. He talks about fandom stuff and fandom culture. And years ago, he had a YouTube series in which it was called Black Nerd Rants, in which he talked about stuff that pissed him off within the geek culture, the fandom culture, and in nerd culture basically. But rewatching these videos, I remember like there was like a lot of stuff that happened. Like he did one for 2013 and then I think skipped. No, he did one. I think he did one for 2011, and then he skipped. Like, I'll put the playlist of the videos in like the description of this video. You can check them out yourself. But as far as in terms of like what was happening during those years, like for 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, he also did like a best of, for those, like for some specific years. I know he did a best of 2017 and a best of 2018, but he stopped doing these videos for a specific like time, and then like eventually, like as I'm sitting there rewatching these videos, it really does make me wonder, like where has like he still creates videos, but he doesn't create worst of, like, he didn't create a worst of 2019. He didn't do a worst of 2020, worst of 2021, which it literally feels like the one thing, like they say in the beginning of Avatar: The Last Airbender, when the world needed him most, he vanished. And that's another thing too I want to discuss. In terms of, and I will say this. Oh wait, 3 minutes. All right. I want to say this, with as much love and respect to all fandoms out there, because I don't want to get any hate or like any like harassment. When it comes to a lot of like memes and a lot of fandom, like for example, like let's say this, Pokemon, right? If you saw one of my last vlogs, I showed off a Nintendo Switch 2 that I bought, and a bunch of games that I got. I want to say this very loud and clear, that when it comes to a lot of like video games and like video games, movies, TV shows, there's a lot of stuff that I'm into personally, and like a lot of stuff that, well, actually, the truth is, like, there's just a lot of stuff that I just don't really give a shit for. There's a lot of video games that I've never played. There's a lot of video games that, as a series, like, I just don't really care for. Like, growing up, I remember back in the day, like, going to GameStop and picking out, like, the newest Mario game. For example, like, the last, like, Mario game that I remember, like, buying and, like, getting to, like, play, like, consistently on a consistent basis, like a lot of the time back in like my childhood or teen years, it was probably, I think, maybe like what I don't fucking know, honestly. And that's what I want to say. Like the only like the one thing that I'm thinking about now is Super Mario Maker for the Wii U. Not even the 3D. Like there was a 3DS version that I never really gave a shit for, and there was Mario Maker 2, which that was probably also another version that I played. but I didn't buy that from GameStop. Bought it from a local mom and pop store. Now recording for 5 minutes. Oh god, this fucking bed, bitch. I apologize for looking just. My hair looks like crap. God. I remember. So, fandom fatigue, right? Let's talk about that for a second. With all of the. 5 minutes, 30 seconds, alright. With all of the new shows that have come out, the new anime that have come out, the new video games that have come out, new video game consoles that come out, I just, like, we remember from Smosh, there was Amanda Lee Hand Kanto. Like, if you're in the world of Smosh, you know that, like, yeah, like, it's just like an insight. Like, I'm not even sure where they are now because with this joke, because I don't really keep up with Smosh. I used to watch their videos, the Pokemon in Real Life series, which that's another thing I want to get into. Like, I remember for so long, I would just come home from middle school or high school and just put on, like, whatever bullshit I was interested in. It feels like, in the words of BlackNerdComedy, everything I love has gotten so stupid. Like, times have changed, and I know that's just how it is, you know. I mean, if we look at where we were, 6 years ago. Like, see, I'm Generation Z. BlackNerdComedy, I think he's a millennial. He's like, there's like so many people in this generation that, like, and I want to talk about this with wanting to reach out to people. Like, in the comments below, can you also tell me if this, for a certain point in time in my life, there was just like a lot going on. It feels like I woke up, I was just like Amanda Lee Hand Kanto said, it feels like I was put into a pod, and I woke up to a new internet that forgot about me. Either that or the internet made me forget about it. Either I forgot about the internet or the internet forgot about me. But then again, that probably was due to the fact of, like, severe mental health issues and, like, just so much traumatic shit that I was recovering from, dealing with personal demons and just feeling like the world, like I had no place in it. Whether that was through motivating exterior factors or just feeling like, I just don't deserve anything good in life, So, like, trying to consume new media, it's like when people say the world is your oyster, whatever the fuck that means. I'll put like a definition in here. It's like, how long have I been filming now? 8 minutes, 12 seconds. So 8 minutes. So now it feels like whenever people talk about, like, oh, this is peak, or like this is, and like there's so much new slang, it's like, what are we doing? There's like so many dumb memes out there, like there's so many dumb trends. I don't know. I definitely feel like from the inside of all these fandoms, I'm looking in from the outside. And it's like, there is something that is called the paradox of choice. Apparently, I didn't know what this was, but when I found out about it, it like changed my worldview. Like, or at least like it made me realize that maybe I'm not so alone. At least in this. It's basically what happens when, basically from my understanding, when you have too many options of things to do or things to explore, that pretty much just trying to do anything feels overwhelming, or like you don't get as much of like from my understanding, you probably don't get like a happier experience if you just, discovered this by accident. Like, for example, like, sorry, that was my nose. You probably heard that shit. I don't know if it came up on camera, but yeah. It's like, have you ever, like answer me this. Do you personally feel as if you want to, like, discover something new, or if you want to, try out something that you haven't before, or just watch a new show or watch a new anime, you have to, like, force yourself to do that, or it's like you just randomly, like, stumble upon like a clip or a scene on YouTube and you think, oh, that looks fun, but I'll probably watch it later. And then, like, I have, like, for example, think about this. You want to know how much of, like, a fake fan I could probably be considered to some people? Like, I've seen, like, as a kid, I've seen so many people talk about the Joker, from the Dark Knight movie, it's like praised, as like just a really great movie. But would you believe me that I never grew up watching the Dark Knight movies? Like, I've seen clips of that shit on onto I was about to say on Twitter, but God, I don't even have Twitter no more. What the fuck? I've seen so many clips of movies throughout the years of movies that I just never really gave a shit about, or like was never going to. Like, for example, the Batman movies. Everyone loves them. There's people have discussions and debates all the time about who's the best Batman actor. Is it Adam West, from the original Batman show in the 60s or whatever, and like the original Batman movie? Is it goddamn, Christian Bale from The Dark Knight? Is it, Ben Affleck from those three movies? Which, by the way, speaking of, like, you want to talk about people being tourists? I still haven't, like, I will say this, the paradox of choice. I will say that even if there truly was just a lot of like bad shit going on in my life, it truly, like, I've missed out on so much legacy content, as someone once put it. Like, I still haven't, like, take for example Pokemon. The anime is over, like 20 or 25 seasons, right? Or 22, or I don't know how many, but I've never really, if I could be honest, I never really, how long have I been? 12 minutes. I've never really cared for, like, if I'm being honest, 12 minutes now, 16 seconds. God, my eyes are so fucking horrible. Probably should have never did what I did that day. But yeah, so like anime, for example, right? Like, when it comes to new anime, like, I haven't seen like any new anime like these past few like years, except for one which I just love because it's so stupid and funny. It's called Tojima Wants to Be a Kamen Rider, and apparently it's like based off of like this one like TV show in like the 70s or 60s about like superheroes called Kamen Rider that, like, you know so all right, think Power Rangers, basically, like all this, like, and you heard of Super Sentai, right? Super Sentai is what started Power Rangers. It was Power Rangers, Saban's Masked Rider, which apparently they did nothing with. Then it was Super Sentai. No, it was Power Rangers, Super Sentai, and then Saban's Masked Rider to then Kamen Rider. And apparently Kamen Rider's still going on to this day, but I haven't seen much about it. And the world of, I guess it's called Tojima Rider. Is that a fucking crow, bitch? What the fuck? Like, I've never, like, I will say that there's so much anime that I've missed out on. It just feels like tourist, like, I've heard people apparently say that, oh, like, there's these things called anime tourists, which is like, from what I've seen, it pretty much just feels like a way for people to like persuade the younger generation of anime fans into not really engaging with the fandom. And lately I've been applying that to myself for Pokemon, because if you remember, I showed off that I have like so many different just like Pokemon games, right? Look back there, see? Got a bunch of Switch games and a lot of Pokemon games, and I haven't even played them yet. What the fuck is that? Box. Oh yeah, that's the Switch 2 box and a Pokeball. Like, does anyone else relate to like that at all? Just feeling like they're an outsider looking in from, or like they're like they know about they know about something, but they just don't really know how to, like, I don't know. it's literally the paradox of choice. It's like when you have too many options, you don't know where to start, and when you don't know where to start, you don't know how to start. It's like I've literally like only watched like Pokemon Indigo League and a few episodes of Pokemon like Advanced Challenge, like the one with like when he has like what the it's like the hat that's like I think like blue on like on the symbol, and like I don't know. I'll put up a reference picture in case anybody wants that. But yeah. Um. So yeah, in like I just don't really know how to like. It's like when you grow up like not really engaging with media or like not really focusing or caring about what's popular because you're just trying to you're just trying to survive another day in life. It definitely feels trying to catch up to like where you could go, or trying to find out where you could go. It's like you try to absorb too much at once. It's like so many people are like, oh, just pick something and start there. I don't really know. I really don't know how to explain it. It's like the world, as I saw the world going by, I'm like, don't forget about me. I'm banging on the glass, like, don't forget about me. I'm still here. I'm still waiting. Like, I will say this. There's probably so many games you could like name in the comment section that I just never played, or like franchisees, or like a certain game series. Sorry, that was my toe cracking. There's so much stuff that I haven't played. I like 17 minutes, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 seconds. All right. I've never. All right. Let me do you a favor, and let me list off some game series that I've never played, from like franchises that I've never played. I've never played Devil May Cry. I never played games from Resident Evil. Never played games from what else? Final Fantasy, Kingdom Hearts. Never played Red Dead Redemption. That's five. I've never played Kirby. Never played The Legend of Zelda. I mean, I've tried, but I just couldn't really get into it. Never played Resident Evil. Did I say that? I don't fucking know. I've never played what else? The Last of Us. Never played never really played, and also I never played Pokemon. Imagine that. Still haven't played Pokemon. But I don't know, like certain games, it's like you have to at some point in time, like the way you used to discover stuff, you had to it's like the way you used to discover stuff was when you used to like watch TV or like go on the internet and see someone like looking at stuff. You're like, oh hey, that's cool. Why not? Why not I do something like that and like play like a game or something. That was me for most of like Mario games, but sorry, that was my throat. But I mean, that was me for mostly like Mario games, but then again, I'm more of like a simple gamer. So the Mario games I would really like play the most were like Mario Kart, or you know, like the new Super Mario Brothers series. And would you believe I've played, but I haven't beaten Mario Wonder. And like I think I'm on like one of the earlier worlds. Let's see. There's so much shit out there that I've heard that is either great or like not, that I just haven't like dived into. Like for example, new Mario games that I haven't played, or like I haven't or like I haven't beaten. Right? Didn't really get involved with Mario RPG. I just never really liked RPGs. Maybe that's why I don't like Pokemon. But for some reason I liked Undertale. That actually made me cry. As stupid as it is, Undertale made me cry. But like, not, I'm not saying that Undertale is stupid. I'm saying that like back in the day, like we all know what the Undertale fandom is like. I just it feels like the bad parts we see of the fandom. Here, insert the Andre clip. All right, did I insert it? All right. But yeah, basically, it's true that like you see so many videos on YouTube of like, everything wrong with, this fandom or um basically just people like I've heard crashing out, yeah, there's that. Like there's so many people on the internet that say or do dumb things, like either because apparently it's something that they're doing that called rage baiting, which is like trying to intentionally outrage people, but it's like a bait post, and it's like, I don't know. I haven't really. There's so much stuff that I haven't watched. Like, would you believe me if I said that I never like during the pandemic, I haven't watched. I didn't watch, Tiger King. That was just not something I was interested in. I also haven't seen The Bear. I haven't seen let's I will say this though, in terms of how long have I been filming for? 24 minutes. No, shit, sorry. 21 minutes. Almost 22. Let me take a vape break. Now it's been 22 minutes. All right. Now it's been 22 minutes. All right. So, what other fandoms, what other stuff have I seen but not really like got involved with? I'm definitely an outsider looking in because, like, for example, like I haven't really, I haven't, there's so much music that I didn't know like about. Like, I like Michael Jackson, but I'm not really, like one of the like diehards. Like, I got like, for example, like look at this. Let's change the subject. All right, 22 minutes and 44 seconds. All right, like I there's so much anime that I never even like watched or like even begun to watch. I've seen, or like some that I've seen clips of that, but I just never really like set like you got to set time aside to like do something now these days. But then again, with what I've been doing these days, it's like I'm not really like I don't really have much to do. But then again, because it feels like the world has moved on without me, I'm not really like. It just feels like I don't know how to start anywhere with any fandom. I haven't seen One Piece, but then again, there's like more than 1,000 episodes. But then again, there's also 1,000 plus episodes of Pokemon. But then again, I've only really cared about Indigo League. Let's see what else is there. What else is there? What else is there? I haven't seen One Piece. I heard they made a live action, show about it. But then again, I'm not really into Netflix stuff. I mean, the only show that I ever really cared about was on Netflix was Orange Is the New Black, but I wasn't watching it like when it started coming out. The only thing that I ever really cared about for Orange Is the New Black, or like how I got involved with it, was season 5. Season 5, the riot season. I literally saw a trailer for that shit back when it first like, came up, and then I was able to find out about a show while it was ongoing, but through the lens of like a newbie coming in, not really knowing about the show prior. And apparently the fandom just calls it Orange. And yeah, found out about Orange, never really, never really knew about like the prior history about saying that, oh, like, apparently it's not accurate because there's no lesbian sex in prison, or like, I've binge watched the show, and my favorite seasons are between 4 and after, but I never really cared about the earlier comedy. Let's see. What animes have I not watched? I haven't watched Jujutsu Kaisen. I haven't watched, you know, Chainsaw Man. I haven't watched Demon Slayer except for a few episodes here and there. It only really, came like knowns to me from that one YouTuber, Whole Wheat Pete, doing cosplay sketches, running around chasing females just as Nezuko. And then years later, he did a cosplay that, let's just say, cosplaying as someone who allegedly, is a criminal from stuff that, I don't know. I don't know how much I can say on YouTube, just like what BlackNerdComedy said. Nobody really knows how, like, even now, like, the people didn't know how the YouTube algorithm didn't work back then. Some videos would get hundreds of views, some videos would never even be seen. Sorry. I don't even know if people are gonna watch this video, what else I haven't seen? I haven't seen Chainsaw Man, haven't seen Spy Family, haven't seen One Piece, haven't seen Cowboy Bebop, haven't seen Full Metal Alchemist, haven't seen Death Note, haven't seen that's my stomach, sorry. Ugh. I haven't seen that one sorry. Like there's so much shit that I haven't watched. I feel like I'm definitely an outsider looking in. And even if I try to get into some new shit, people would probably just call me a tourist or a fake fan. It's also like, if you remember my YouTube community post that I made on the day that I got drunk for like the first time on camera, even though I was filming shit, like, I don't know why I made those videos anyways. I really don't know why I made those videos anyways, but yeah. God, there's a fucking dent on my hand. Look at that shit. Oh, look at this. Sorry, that was my fucking wrist cracking. What the hell's that on the wall? So much. What? Wait, so many dents on this wall. What the fuck? Oh shit, God, that's a bad angle. Fuck. Yeah, what else is there? I haven't seen Attack on Titan. I haven't seen One Punch Man. I haven't seen there's just so much I haven't seen. So yeah, it definitely feels like, it's too, and it feels like it's too late to catch up on anything, honestly. Overwhelming choice. That's what Spencer Agnew said. I'll insert a clip there, and if not, it is what it is. I bet people won't even watch this. My vlogs don't do shit on YouTube anyways. But yeah. Been awake. Sorry, been awake for too long. And apparently, there's a lot, like, YouTube-wise that I, like, watch. I mean, I've literally, like, God, what is my fucking stomach doing this? Sorry. This video is definitely, like, all over the place. But yeah. Where do you start when you don't know where to start? That's exactly what I'm trying to say. It's like, how do you start with a fandom that is probably so divisive where you don't even know where to go? I mean, there might be like a lot of even kids shows, like back when I was a kid, like there'd be kid shows that I don't know the ending to, and then there's people on YouTube talking about kid shows, and their fandoms. Like, I don't know who that one YouTuber was, but they made like a video on like, the lore of kid shows. I'll probably put a screenshot or somewhere. Why is my fucking stomach doing this? But yeah, I'll put it in like a screenshot or something of like, people doing, like, just talking about shows. Let's see what else is there. It's really hard to like get into new stuff now these days. That's what I'm just trying to say. It's like, I never really cared about much in terms of like new games, new stuff. Like, I don't really know how to explain it. but I do hope I am making some sense because, like, for example, with like new stuff that's coming out now, it's like it is just like hold on, wait, how long have I filmed? 30 minutes and how many seconds? 13, 14, 15 seconds. All right. It's just like what Black Nerd Comedy said. Andre Meadows, that's his real name. You know, some things. I don't know. It's like some things don't need a consensus. It's like, or it's like sometimes you want to just figure out for yourself where something should be, or like where you want to like. I don't know. It's like I don't know what I like. Like have you ever wanted, you know, to do something with your life but you didn't know like where you wanted to go? I don't know. I mean, I grew up, you know, practically like with a phone in my hand since middle school. For better or for worse, it was a lot, you know. There's people on the internet probably well more knowledgeable than me. They probably know everything, you know. And you know, growing up with a phone in your hand can be damaging to some people. There's probably a lot that I've seen, you know, in fandoms and like the dark corners of the internet, like just a lot of YouTubers that I like loved watching certain series from them, like they just suck now. Like Kid Behind a Camera, Michael Green. Like how many people like raise your hand if you actually liked watching Kid Behind a Camera at some point for his content? That's probably me. But it was definitely before, you know, like all that stuff came out about, you know, the domestic violence charge, you know, the stuff involving, you know, him allegedly dating Bridget, you know, while she was, you know, not of legal age. And, you know, even there was probably some point in which, like, while I was still watching, where, like, Michael defended himself saying that, like, he forgiven Bridget or something, or, like, he moved on, or that he didn't care that Bridget was lying about her age, because at that point, like, they had already been dating for a while. I don't know. And then there was just so much fake garbage, like, you know, storylines that wouldn't make sense, like the stuff which, like, you know, with like, I don't know, like there was like pranks that they did that just don't make sense, like the one where they like joke about how like their brother, you know, Charlie is coming back to try because Bridget apparently is forming a reunion, but it's like not once in the video does she ever clearly state your brother Charlie is coming. Like she says that he is coming or like they are coming, but it's like are you gonna either mention Charlie's name or not? And by the like they don't even like, and this was at, and keep yes I know this was at a point in which the brother was estranged or like disowned by the family for allegedly, you know, assaulting his two sisters when they were all minors, you know, child on child abuse, child on child sexual abuse. Yeah, watch, just by the mention of that, this video's probably gonna get fucking, you know, deleted off the internet or like, you know, taken down or age restricted. But yeah, but it's like if you it's like it's so stupid how like Bridget was acting as if she was this morally like high ground, high road person that wanted to see these people reconnect out of some sort of like feeling to like keep the peace. And it's like, what? Like, think about this reasonably. If you found out that as an adult, you like, first of all, I'm an only child, right? No siblings, you know. Fuck all that shit. I'm pretty much, you know, the center of attention, or I was back then, even though my mom was pretty shitty, or at least not as like helpful as I probably thought she was. or at least like but is you reassess your relationships with your parents as you get older. But it's like, think about this realistically. As forget the YouTube videos and like the YouTube stuff. You're telling me that your pregnant wife decides all of a sudden that you need to reunite with your brother that allegedly molested you. No, allegedly molested your siblings when they were children, even though like they're all children, like they were all children back then. But it just comes like now after some incident where he's on LSD or acid, and that this is like years later in the 2020s, and then like, or like in 29. I think that's that prank video series of the family reunion between Michael and Charlie was, it was like 2019 or 2020, back when they've had their first child, Mia. And it's like, in what world, like, and then the excuse when Mike, and what makes it even more stupid is that in the video series, it was specifically a video called Michael versus Bridget, and like Michael talked about leaving the house because he doesn't want to be there when his brother comes, like any normal person would. But Bridget starts acting defensive, telling him to grow up because he's being a dick. I'm sorry, but if you're like, for example, I have a cousin who, let's just say he's mentally ill and he's an addict. Like, if you're telling me that, like, let's say, for example, if my mother was trying to, like, tell me that he wants to stay once again in our house or apartment after all the shit he's put us through, like, stealing and using money for drugs, like, I'm sorry, but no. Like, it's just like what Michael said in that video series, when it turns out, or like in those series of videos, when it turns out that before it turned out it was a prank. The bridge was burned, never to be repaired, and they've done too much stuff to try and earn a second chance. It's like, realistically, like, it's like, and then guess what? Later in the video, it turns out, or like in the next video called Family Reunion, it turns out it's just Kimberly, their sister, or Michael's sister, that came over because apparently Bridget needed help with the baby. But it's like, you set up this fucking like thing for it to be that like it was Michael's brother that allegedly, like, and I will say allegedly, of course, allegedly raped his two sisters when he was also like a kid, but he was like older himself, and did it with a friend apparently, and apparently somehow admitted to it on like an interview with some other YouTuber named Drama Alert Keemstar, which that guy is also another piece of work, but like that I've noticed myself noticing that shit. And not once throughout that video series they mention Charlie's name. At one point they allude to him all the time, and it's like, as the fucking audience back then, we noticed that shit. It's like, we know who the fuck he's talking about, but they not once did they mention Charlie's name, the name of Michael's brother, or like older brother Charlie, and in any sort of mention in the family reunion, like they censored out the word brother because apparently, I guess the memory of like what Charlie did, and like him spreading lies about his father's name, saying that he wished he would die already because apparently he got, denied seeing him when his father was in the hospital. I don't know. And apparently Google keeps trying to tell me that this was it's established that the Angry Grandpa Show was a fake series. And it's like, when was it ever established? Like, The only time I remember the Angry Grandpa show ever got any sort of like, like universal or canonical, like I guess like hint at being fake that I remember was when, hold on, wait, I'm sorry, I got a burp. Sorry. Only time I remember, any sort of like hint that the Angry Grandpa show was fake or like direct admission was in part 3 of the We're Done with Doug series. Deadbeat Doug. Because apparently Doug was trashing Michael and Bridget. And it's like, I remember that series so well because like it started off with, videos on Kid Behind the Camera's channel, saying that Doug was harassing them, talking shit about Bridget and Michael, and saying stuff like, oh, Michael's fat. No, sorry, that, Bridget, she's fat because of, Michael, and like basically Michael, defending himself in this 3-part series. But you don't really see people critiquing Kid Behind the Camera like for everything, or like, you see like, oh, the tarnished legacy of Kid Behind the Camera, or like, oh, the downfall of Kid Behind the Camera, like, oh, the leaked 911 call of Michael Green, aka Kid Behind the Camera, and it's like, or you see like, there was like some guy on YouTube, like I think named Sunny V2, who did like the tarnished legacy, or like he did like YouTube's biggest leech, Kid Behind a Camera, or like Kid Behind a Camera, Kid Behind a Camera, YouTube's biggest leech. And at the time, I thought that those videos of analyzing Kid Behind a Camera, whether they were old or new, were like they were like wrong. But then again, I was I was a dumb kid, I was a dumb kid, But then I realized that wait, this is actually like some of these points, some of the people that are arguing these points, like they're actually like, oh wait, like they actually make good points, like clickbaiting videos. And I remember like apparently people were saying that he was creating AI thumbnails, and I'm like, wait, what are you talking about? Because like they showed like a thumbnail of an Angry Grandpa video, or like, I don't know. But then I remember like, wait, in 2021, I think Michael was using AI with his video thumbnails. Oh, damn, I spit on my fucking wrist. What the fuck, bitch? Fuck, bitch. It's like, I remember like he would like make himself have like like nasty facial hair, or like he would make himself look like very fatter, or like he would make himself look fatter. He would make himself look fatter or older or more ugly. He would age up, Bridget in the thumbnails, or like he would make Bridget look fatter. He would make, Doug look older, Bridget's father, his father-in-law, And it's like those types of YouTubers, like they blur the line between like what is real family or familial issues with like what is like spit on my fucking finger. Sorry, just cracked it. It's like so many YouTubers blur the line of like what is real versus what is fake, and it's like, what are we doing? Like there's like so much garbage on the internet, and it's like, what are we watching at this point anymore? Like literally, like I don't even like, I'm filming for 43 minutes and 43 seconds. I don't. It's just like what BlackNerdComedy said. Like I am trying to figure out what I like anymore, because it feels like there's nothing really good to enjoy, and there's also many stuff that I missed. I don't really know where I fit in like anywhere, any space, and like with stuff like it's like. You never really know what's like real or fake anymore on the internet these days, and you don't know what's a series or what's like real. I mean, McJuggernuggets gets pranked an entire, like he literally did the Psycho series and then like was apparently accusing Michael and Angry Grandpa of being fake. But it's like, you just got done running a long series, and you think other people, like you think just because like, oh, you made fake videos documenting like like allegedly or like apparently just what it is it's familial domestic violence and domestic abuse, and now you think that other people are doing that shit too. It's like, get a fucking grip. It's like, be fucking for real, bitch. And then there's vlogs, podcasts, and like just people talking about all like, and he's just like, it's like people play a character of a character. They play a character of themselves, and then like it's like where does the real person begin, and like where does the character begin and the end? I don't know. I feel like I'm not making sense. It's like where does the character you play begin and the real person you are end, if that makes any sense. It's like where does the character begin and the character end? Where does the real version of you begin and where does the character end? I don't fucking know. I'm trying to sound intellectual. I don't fucking know. I get spitting on my fucking hands. God. I gotta say what I'm feeling. I gotta spray what say it, don't spray it, Sorry. Bad joke. That was stupid. And then again, also, it also feels like, definitely, like, with all the controversies going around, I've also heard apparently McJuggernuggets, like, I think, like, he apparently, like, he had, like, a son that he was gonna have, and then, like, apparently he had the baby aborted, because apparently he found out that it had, like, trichotomy 21, or, like, trichotomy, I don't know. Apparently the baby had, like, Down syndrome, and he decided to abort it, which that's another thing too, abortion. I'm not political at all, and I might be gender fluid, but I'm not, I think the term is cisgender. I don't even know if I use that term properly, because apparently some trans guy, I think that's a bitch to me, honestly, back in Bellevue in 2021. Got mad at me. This trans dude got mad at me for, like, apparently, like, commenting on what, like, cisgender was. He was like, don't tell me what cisgender is. It's like, I don't know. It's like when I made that video of fandom fatigue, it's like, I agree, I do. But I don't know, like, I don't know where I fit in terms of any fucking fandom. And it's like, where do you fit personally in the comments below? And then again, there are a lot of people that will call you fake, call you cringe, call you weird for just being yourself. But then again, I can understand that, There's a lot of people that either did I just spit on my fucking... It's like, for example, with the shit that I talked about before on, like, my June 4th vlog of Morgan Reacts, crying about Hazbin Hotel episode 4, season 1, season 1, episode 4, Masquerade. Like, I've never even seen Hazbin Hotel, but I like the premise of it. I've watched a bunch of clips here and there. And imagine, how stupid is it that I've seen, like, the show... I've seen clips of the show, listened to the season 2 soundtrack, listened to like episodes, like I've even written fan fiction for it using like goddamn. But you can probably go back and watch that goddamn vlog. I don't want to think about that video. But like people just crying because like I was about to call her she, but they're queer or like they're trans. I don't know. I think they're non-binary actually. I think they're non-binary. Like. And they use he, they pronouns, yeah. So he basically just, like, I probably shouldn't say this, but when I first listened to Poison, like, without watching Hazbin Hotel, like, my stomach keeps fucking growling. I don't know why, but it keeps making, like, popping sounds that sound like fucking farts. What the fuck is happening to me? And my fucking shoulder just cracked. No, is this shoulder? Yeah. It's like, what are we doing? Bullying a trans guy or trans girl or whatever because they care about a character, and the whole "no angel, don't blame yourself" meme. The whole "no angel, don't blame yourself" meme is just, it feels so like dumb. it's like what, and it's like what the YouTuber Queso said, at one point. It's like you gotta find out shit for yourself. But like, basically, no, I think he said if you constantly listen to people on the internet, you're never gonna find anything new to explore or love. I don't know what he said, but yeah. There's my stomach again. God damn it! I fucking hate this fucking shit, bitch. And there's a bunch of trendy shit too that apparently that I never really got involved with. Didn't get into Labubus. Didn't get into, that's another, like, didn't. I'm sorry if you keep hearing my fucking stomach popping. It's fucking, I don't fucking know anymore. God, honestly. I don't know anymore. Sorry for, if you hear a noise, I just turned on the fan. Yeah, there's that. Now I've been officially recording for 51 minutes. I don't even, could this fucking video be considered like a vlog or a podcast? I don't know. Then again, a podcast I probably film with more people, more than just one person. I don't know. It's like you see so much people hating on, a lot of different new things, and it's like it's just like what Andre said, what BlackNerdComedy said, if you hate something, that's just, you get told that, you're wrong, or that, I don't know. It's like, nobody's allowed to like anything anymore. But then again, I also know that, like, there's a lot of people, and I'm sorry if I keep jumping back and forth from topic to topic, but it's like, I know people probably, like, purposefully want to get hate, or, like, they try to post things that cause outrage or whatever. But at the same time, I also know that there's people that they are being themselves, but, like, from, like, an outside standpoint, it's like, from the inside looking out, it's like, yeah, obviously you're gonna get hate for that. Obviously you're gonna get trolls and bad actors, or like you're obviously gonna get people talking about you, and it's like you gotta help yourself, Just like what I said before in a past video, like, you asked if you could, but never if you should. I don't know who came up with that, but that was a very valid point, I've been filming now for 53 minutes, 22, 23, 24, 25 seconds. I am tired, Not just because, did a freaking fly just come on me? I don't know what the fuck, bitch. And I forgot I was fucking wearing AirPods, god damn it. Let me see what time it is now. Damn, 8:04, what the fuck? What day is it today? I forgot. God. Great, my AirPods are at 10%. And yeah, you can film AirPods using you can film using you can use AirPods Sunday, June 14th, 8:04. Yeah, you can use AirPods with Android. Didn't realize that. And I still don't have a fucking iPhone. And yeah, I miss Lamar Wilson, the guy, that nerd tech guy, Lamar Wilson, he's the funniest guy who gets the job done. Likes some how-tos, random bits, so fun. Man, he's so crazy, better give up the thumb. Lamar Wilson. Turns out there was a hidden line. There was a unused line, or like a line that was only in some videos, The world's funniest tech reporter, Lamar Wilson. Yeah, speaking of which, like, in terms of like stan culture, like fandom, Like, I remember his last long form style video, which was like a shorter video or like a short video, but it wasn't a YouTube short, was unboxing 6 DC titles. They talk about, Detective Comics, shows that they really liked, and, stuff they really liked in the DC stuff on HBO Max. They talked about the Suicide Squad, I was about to say Static, Static Shock, haven't seen that either. But I think, wasn't that 90s? I don't know. He just talked about Batman the Animated Series, Justice League the series, and and at some point, like I miss Lamar Wilson. I wish he wouldn't have done what he did. But I know that in that video, like I specifically in like the comment section, I talked about I can't judge him for what he did. Maybe the truth is that back in December of that year, the same year that I found back in 2025 last year, for some reason I still think it's 2020. Not 6. For some reason, I keep forgetting that it's not 2025. Like, my dumbass, basically, my neurodivergent ass, always thinks that the year just goes, like, once it's January 1st, we start the year again all over. We start the same year. But yeah. He talked before about, in, like, a YouTube short, about how, like, we have Marvel movie fatigue. I think I'm just having, like I said, there's fandom fatigue, or just like there's like fatigue for everything. It's not just like a black or white thing that people try to talk about with race and racism. And that's the thing. I'm not political at all. My fucking high school law class teacher or like history teacher was like, anytime a person says that they're not political, he completely dissociates from that person, or like he abandons that friendship because he just says, oh, I don't want to be friends with someone that doesn't want to talk about politics. But it's like, I don't know. I don't really like politics, at all. I don't really care for it. I mean, I'm just some random YouTuber. Do I look like I give a shit about politics? Honestly. Got fucking bad head or whatever the fuck it is. My hair, bad hair day, more like bad hair life. I don't know. Like, whatever happened to us just finding out, discovering stuff for the first time ever. Is there skin in my nose? I don't know. Sorry if there was, or if there is. I had to turn that fan on because it's hot, but yeah. I don't even know where I fit in anymore. Just in life. With fandoms. With anime, with TV shows. With everything. There's also, like... I don't tell everyone everything. As much as it might seem like I do, I really don't say much. But yeah. Fandom fatigue is real. I do. And like, I don't know. You get lost in the culture. You get lost in toxic mindsets. Not wanting to enjoy anything, hating new stuff before it comes out, hating on stuff like based on everything. And then again, there are so many people that probably, for better or for worse, they do deserve to be hated. But then again, also I saw the rise of cancel culture with like so many people just, hating on other people and like wanting them to be held accountable, but wanting them also to go away. And like, there's also so many like, there are toxic people on the internet and people that just make fun of you, I'm probably not gonna edit this video, honestly, and I'm sorry if it's not edited because this phone is running out of space. Saw a fucking notification that said that you need to make room. This video is probably gonna be fucking 3 gigabytes in terms of like storage. I'm gonna try to end this video at an hour. I don't know who I am, and honestly I feel like I never knew who I was. So yeah, there's that. Bye.